Before the tales of adventure were ever told, the sun gave life to a rock known as Earth. As time unfolded, the sun found a human special to him. Her name was Ivana. On top of the hill near the village, they would meet every day until the darkness covered the skies. During this darkness, the village stayed indoors, waiting in fear until their god came back the next day to give them sight once again. Now, the village followed the law of the sun, which stated that every man and woman had their place in the village to help it prosper. The sun gave Ivana an exception to only talk to her since he loved her. After many visits to the mountain, Ivana had become with child. The sun knew the child would have a great destiny and named him Zohar. Although he was the father, the sun could not help with raising the child since he had to ensure to bring life to the world every day. Ivana understood. To ensure that she would never be alone, he gave her a pendant. The life of Zohar was not an easy one. He was the laughing stock of the village, a young man claiming that their god was his father. Although this was laughable to the village, it was blasphemous to the priests. The priests ordered Zohar to take the law of the sun seriously. He needed to contribute to their society. It's as if the law of the sun did not apply to Zohar in their eyes, and that must be corrected immediately. He wasn't a great hunter. He wasn't the best guard. His meals made people sick. There was one thing that Zohar loved to do. That was to create stories. He would write and draw up fables of powerful beings helping mankind, and even of mankind helping these powerful beings. This passion for storytelling was taken in vain according to the law. Zohar would visit his father on top of the hill to speak with him from time to time, wondering about his purpose, with the hopes of finding direction for his path. "This village is no place for me, father. Mother says I have a destiny. What is it?" "You have to follow your heart to fulfill it. Your place is not here alongside with me, Zohar. You could never do what I could do." Their conversations turned into bickering every time they spoke. One day, Zohar saw a beggar on the street. "What are you doing here, sir?" Zohar asked. "I lost everything in a gamble years ago." The beggar pleads as he holds his hands out. "I have no farm to tend to, so therefore I have no money to make," he responded. "I understand. That doesn't mean all is lost," Zohar said. Zohar knelt down and continued. "Once, there was a baker who lost his house and belongings in a fire. He could only blame himself until a stranger came along to help him get started again. The once-was baker used his small investment for new clothes and went to a small class during the day to learn. The once-was baker became something he always wanted to be. He became a scribe. He chose to look at his troubles as an opportunity rather than a failure. Zohar then gave the man enough money for new clothes. You see, starting over is like moving forward, just with a better ending," Zohar stated. The priest who was walking through the village overheard the story Zohar was telling the beggar. The beggar wept in joy. "Thank you for that! I've always wanted to draw birds and study the different kinds." "That sounds remarkably interesting. Well, go on. Maybe you can teach the rest of us what you learned." The beggar left, full of joy. "Blasphemy!" the priest yelled out as he approached Zohar. "I heard your words, boy. Did you lie to that beggar?" "No, sir. I just told him a story to help him follow his dreams," Zohar responded. "Story? The law of the sun states that we are only to use our words for truth, not these lies you speak of. What is his dream? The priest mockingly asked. He wants to draw birds, sir. Blasphemy! How does drawing birds contribute to a village? I want no more of these stories from you. The priest sighs as he walks away, leaving Zohar feeling depleted. Zohar returned to his mother. She was lying in bed sick, skin filled with dark red blotches. Zohar then ran to the church to get the priest, and the priest returned to Zohar's home to tend to Ivana. God of life! I've never seen such an illness, said the priest. The circle crest given to Ivana by the sun god was depleting. What sorcery is this? Guards, come quickly! The priest reached for the pendant. You stand back from that, Zohar said, pushing the priest with great force, knocking down papers off the table. What are these? Did you write these? They're your stories, aren't they? The priest grabbed all of the stories and began ripping them and throwing them in the fire nearby. The guards swiftly surrounded Zohar as the priest states, Take him away and put her out of her misery. Zohar stood in front of them to protect his mother. The guards approached, and a sudden burst of light came from Zohar, and it knocked the guards and the priest unconscious. I'll be back, Mother. I'll save you. I love you, Zohar said. Before his mom could say I love you back, Zohar grabbed a sword from one of the guards and left to reach the top of the hill. He ran as fast as he could before sunset fell on the village. Father! Zohar yelled out. His father appeared in front of him. What is it? He asked. You know why I'm here. You know Mother is dying. You know the village needs more than nutrients to live. To live! They know not what they are capable of. What do you propose? The father asked calmly. Hesitant, Zohar responds. Well, you may be their god, but you are not mine. You may bring life, but you sure can't save it. I should be the one up there, not you. I can care for them the right way. I've told you, your destiny is not alongside me. Have you no shame? Zohar draws his sword. I can be a better god than you. Then so be it. Zohar runs after to attack his father. But before he could land a single blow, his father obliterated him. Sunset passed into the night, and as did Ivana with her life. The villagers left into their homes, waiting for the sun god to appear the next day as usual. Then a small light appeared into the sky. Then another. Then another. The villagers, for the first time, went outside into the darkness to look at the lights that lit up the darkness. Then surrounded by these lights was a much larger light, much more graceful to look at than the sun god. The villagers were in awe at these lights along the sky. Many began pointing and seeing certain shapes. As time went on, these shapes they saw turned into fables they told one another. Many in the village left, without fear, knowing these lights that told stories could guide them. Mother, Zohar said. Yes, Zohar. I want to apologize to Father. It was your destiny to be different. Zohar, he knew of this. Follow me. I will take you to him. Zohar followed his mother through the skies until they finally made it to the sun god. "Father," Zohar said. "Zohar," the sun replied. Zohar says, "I'm so sorry, Father. It was your destiny to gather such strength to be what you are now. You're helping everyone across the rock. I've never seen such joy. I even saw a man selling drawings of birds to make a living." "Now, we don't have much time, so please do me one favor." "Anything," Zohar responded. "Tell me a story," the father shouted proudly.